Hey, Adam, what's going on?
Hi. Can you hear me?
Yeah, how's your morning or how's your afternoon going?
Yeah, it's pretty good. Busy with reviews.
Oh, busy with code reviews?
Oh yeah.
Ah,
I mean, it's almost well, halfway into the milestone, so people have already stuff to review. So I got dumped tons of MRs to check. So busy.
lucky you. Hey, John Mason.
Cheers, how are you?
Hey.
Cheers, Adam.
Google picks the funniest times to randomly log you out.
Yes, that's true.
Yeah, you are also logged out every week, right? It's like I have to log in every week at least once to Google.
I feel like for me, it's once every 2 weeks or maybe even a little bit more. It's very strange.
Cheers, Brandon.
Hey, Brandon.
Hello. How you all doing?
Great.
Good to hear.
I think I saw on Managed Social that you got out of the house, Brandon.
Yeah, pretty exciting times.
All right, we're 2 minutes past here, so I'm going to go ahead and kick this thing off. Oh, and it's already being recorded, so that part's easy. It is the July 7th Analytics Weekly, and we are going to start with walking the board. So I will share my screen. All right, can everybody see the board?
Yes.
Cool. What's interesting about this is, oh, I haven't applied the milestone. That's what's interesting. And here I was trying to be all ready. Cool. So adding filter results control on the group value stream analytics, that's in verification in production. And I guess, I think Ezekiel was leading the charge on verification, but Adam, do you know where verification stands right now because Ezekiel isn't here?
No, but I wanted to suggest to enable it for GitLab.org, so our group, because why not? Just to get more meaningful data. Because
right now it's only enabled for the manage project in GitLab.org? Okay.
Yeah, and I mean, I don't know actually what we have in that group, so maybe it would be better to check with real data.
Agreed.
Try some filtering.
So there may have been a weird problem with what's populating into the auto suggest. Like when I was testing it for the manage project, it looked like only group owners or project owners, I should say, were appearing in the list of like potential authors, for example. So I don't know if there's a bug there or if it was just weird behavior in that specific project. So I wanted to give Ezekiel a chance to respond to that, and then maybe we can enable it for GitLab.org, if that sounds okay to everybody.
Okay, I'm not sure what's the underlying query, so let's see what Ezekiel says, and then we can enable it for GitLab.org.
Cool, that sounds good. Let's see, the MRs chart with the single series. Brandon, how's that coming along?
It's coming along. I do actually have another issue specifically for the front end where the workflow label is updated to in development. Not sure if it's perhaps not popping up here because it doesn't have a priority label assigned. So yeah, it's worth well checking that after the call. But I'm busy on the first API integration call where I fetch all of the page configuration data and hoping to have that merge request in review by the end of today. And then I have a couple of days to work on actually building the chart, which should still be fine. So I'm still pretty confident that it'll be fine for 13.2. Yeah.
Awesome. We have our issues chart, which is blocked by the MRs chart. We have insights report embeddable on third-party pages. And I know Pavel and Michael are both assigned on this. I think backend is done. So maybe Michael is the kind of running point on this right now.
Yeah, I think so. I already contributed a little bit to the backend as well. That's mainly what the work has focused on right now, and I'm slowly just connecting the dots to add in the JavaScript that we need in there for the embedded page. As soon as I have something displaying on there, we can actually try it out and try to embed it in and see how well that works. But yeah, I've split it up into subtasks. So that's currently what I'm going by. And right now it's creating that separate embeddable page is where the work is at right now. Remind me again how long our milestones go, because that will give me a better way of telling you if how well we're doing on that.
Yeah, I was just going to bring that up actually. So normally development should be complete by the 18th day of the month. So that's the end of next week. So my question to you was going to be, do you feel like, roughly speaking, you feel like we have good odds of getting in the last piece of this work all the way through code review and merged by the end of next week?
That seems a little too much of a stretch, because I know I'm going to be out for next week and a half, starting next Monday, or this coming Monday. I mean, it's hopefully made in such a way and described so explicitly that anybody else could jump in and contribute on that. But I do assume that, for example, both Brandon and Ezekiel, who I would expect would be the ones picking up, are located or allocated elsewhere. So I guess it's a little bit a question about priority at this point.
Thanks for filling us in.
Cool. Yeah, thank you. Sorry, I wasn't sure if it froze there at the end for me. Cool. So it sounds like with you, we have until about the end of this week, and we'll just see how far we get.
Yeah, that's kind of the conclusion of it. I think it would be a stretch to get it in there. I'm trying to get as much done during this week as possible. I would say that I'm probably not at my most productive because I'm still learning the ropes a little bit. So I do run into some hurdles every once in a while. So not quite at the velocity that I would like to be at yet. But I guess that's just the nature of me starting.
Sure. Yeah, there does tend to be a little bit of a learning curve here at GitLab, so totally understandable. Cool. Yeah. All right. And then nothing in P3, so jumping over here to P4. And it looks like we're blocked on this. This is another one of yours, Michael.
I should actually update that one because it literally just merged. The issue that was blocking that, I implemented a general loader for the charts, which is blocking further development on this. Though this is a low priority because the feature is in, it's working as we want it to. It's just a nicer experience to have like a nice chart loader to load the individual charts by themselves. So it's a really small change. I have it stashed in my local development. So I'm going to put that up sometime during this week when I have a little bit of breathing hole in between the embeddable charts and the stuff that I'm doing with the filter bar.
Cool. And over here, this next issue, switching between value streams and value stream analytics. So this is actually a 13.3 issue, but it seems like maybe it got pulled into 13.2 for the estimation. I see the estimation's completed, and I don't know how much more stuff like that we have here. So I know we can ignore this issue. Yeah, I think we can just ignore the rest of this. I believe we are complete with walking the board. So John Mason, if we want to, if you want to take over the next up material.
Sure. Let's share here. So just wanted to walk through our planning issue to see the state of it. And really appreciate everybody's work on estimations. We've got a lot of material estimated for the next release. We completed all of the estimations that we had hoped to do under the June 23. And then I think these two, these backend issues were all done. And Ezekiel worked on these last night, so I just need to get an update. Need to look at those, but I think the estimates came in on those too. So we're doing pretty good. So this is sort of the rank order of what we have planned. And these two estimates I think came in. This one, column chart, supports multiple series. Did we get an estimate on that one? Let's see here. No weight there. So this one, we've got an estimate from Brandon on the of a 2, and it looks like Adam said, oh, doesn't look like there's work on the back end. So this one looks like it's going to be a 2. So good. We've got that one figured out too. So we're in pretty good shape. The other thing that we did was make a new board to help us with planning. And this one, we can see which items we have in estimation needed. And then we can now see kind of the number of stories and points for the back end on the front end as far as the plan there. So we'll have our final planning meeting tomorrow morning to figure out where we are for 13.3. So thanks a lot, everyone, for all the hard work you put into the estimation. So that's been great. As far as other updates, I have updated, or I've got an MR open to update the direction page for value stream management, and I reworked the hierarchy of the value stream management issues. So you'll see, I'll ping the channel when that gets merged, hopefully today or tomorrow, and I'll also have a video that goes through the direction changes as well. So look for that on the channel. That's all I've got.
Cool. Next point is mine. Just not exactly sure how great it's going to, or useful it's going to be discussing this while Nick's not on the call. So I'll probably end up creating an issue to discuss this async. But I just wanted to get a bit of everybody's thoughts on our current UX approval process, which works pretty well when we work on larger features where they go through the whole pajamas system, get implemented in Figma, and then implemented in GitLab UI with prior UX approval from like the higher level UX department. But we don't really follow that same process when it comes to smaller changes all the time. recent example is the little back button that we're going to add to the report page. Something that seemed super simple and didn't really expect any pushback on that, but ended up spending like a decent amount of engineering time on that, and when it was in maintainer review, ended up getting quite a lot of pushback and had to actually close the merge request, which was just a little bit of a waste of time, which could potentially be avoided if we have a little bit more of a thorough like UX approval before we actually start on front end work. I don't know if anyone has any thoughts on that, or if I should just create an issue to discuss that offline.
Thanks for the call out, Brandon. That makes a lot of sense. And I appreciate your updates about that back button issue as it happened. It made it real clear that we need to do better at anticipating that issue.
Perhaps that could be a point to discuss in retrospective.
Yeah, that's what I would recommend, is just drop a note on in the retrospective on that.
Cool. Sounds good. Thanks.
I was hoping to hear Nick's thoughts on this as well, since he was also involved in the whole process. So adding to the retro makes sense, and maybe also ping Nick explicitly on the issue, on the retro issue, to see if we can get his feedback on that as well.
Great, I'll do that. Thank you very much. That's all from me. I don't know if anyone has any interesting problems or solutions from the previous week, any demos. Nothing. I'll hopefully have a demo next week, but nothing this week, unfortunately. Any bonus content?
I can talk a little bit about, so I was quite stuck on some RSpec development and not being super familiar with that. I can really recommend, there's a course on Plural site. I'll add the link into the document, and that definitely helped me very quickly ramp up and wrap my head around how certain structures actually work. And bonus, it's my old colleague who's actually hosting that course I discovered when I started it.
That's really cool. Any other cool and interesting stuff? Any demos? Cool. Well, then that brings us to the end of our agenda for the day. So hope everybody has an awesome day, and talk to you later in the week. Bye, everybody.